fixed cost divided by our weighted average CS ratio. Okay? So break-even point for a multiple product and break-even point for a single product. The only difference is the denominator. The denominator in the case of a single product is what? Contribution per unit. In case of a multiple product, it is what? Weighted average contribution to sales ratio. And we all know what contribution to sales ratio is. Contribution to sales ratio is, of course, contribution versus sales. Unit contribution over unit sales. So that's exactly what we are looking for. Okay, and what is a weighted average CS ratio? A weighted average CS ratio is a contribution to sales ratio which has been weighted. Weighting means the degree of importance that has been attached to each product. When we want to apply that in our situation, we're talking about the how to call it, the market share of the product, like the number of sales that each of the product makes can be used as the weighting for their products. Okay. So let's look at this question quickly. Let's look at this question quickly. The question is called beauty company. Beauty company makes two products, nail polish and lipsticks. Yeah, nail polish and lipstick. It's more than one product, isn't it? So we have to use our weighted average CS ratio. Okay, so nail polish sales make up 30% of total sales. Take note of that. Nail polish sales make up 30% of total sales, and their variable costs are 45% as a percentage of sales value. Lipstick sales are 70% of the total sales, and their variable costs are 40% as a percentage of sales value. Okay, the fixed costs are 400,000 for the company. Required, what is the break-even level of sales revenue for the company? Okay, so what do we require? We require two things from this question. What are they? What are they? In order for us to calculate our break-even analysis for these multiple products, that is for these two products, which are nail polish and what? Lipstick. So what do we look for? Cisse Trawale, what do we look for? Cisse, are you with us? Hadi Nyang, what do we look for?
Can you repeat your question again, Mr.
Yes. You know, I've just read this question. I don't know whether you have it before you. The example 6, I've projected it. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So we have been asked to calculate our break-even level of sales revenue for the company. Okay. So in order to calculate our break-even for a multiple product, I told you we need two things. If you are following me, what are those two things we need from here?
The two things that we need are the nail polish and the lipstick.
Those are the two products. But to calculate our break-even point, we need two numbers. That's what I mean. Two numbers.
The nail polish should be 30% and the lipstick should be 70%. I guess, I think.
Okay, good try. Can anyone help her? Hadi, yes? Hadi?
We need the fixed cost and the way that.
Yeah, I think we need to calculate the contribution per unit.
Okay, sorry, Amadou, yes. Amadou Chan?
I said we need the fixed cost and the weighted sales ratio.
Okay, we need the fixed cost and weighted average CS ratio. Those are the two things we need. Okay, so fortunately for us, the fixed cost is given, isn't it? 400,000. So now how do we calculate the weighted average CS ratio? Before we calculate the weighted average CS ratio, we should calculate something first. What is that? What is the first thing that we need to calculate first? Ibrahim,
The
yes?
contribution.
Ibrahim,
Contribution for sales ratio.
okay, we need to find our CS ratio for each of the products. Okay, so what we need to find is our CS ratio for each of the products, and we apply the weightings on them, and we add the two weights. That will give us our weighted average CS ratio. Okay, is that clear? So we know from the question that the nail polish sales make up 30% of total sales. What does that tell you? That tells you that this is their market penetration. The nail polish market penetration is what? 30%. So that means their market share is what? 30%. Okay, and that will be the weighting. The lipstick, their own market share is what? Okay, lipstick
70%.
sales 70%. Okay, so their market share is 70%, which is higher. So first we find our CS ratio.
Weighted average.
Okay, our CS ratio is what? Our contribution over sales. So before we calculate our CS ratio, of course, first thing is we have to calculate our contribution. Okay? So we calculate our contribution. We calculate contribution to sales ratio, and we apply the weighting on them. That will be the weighted average for each of the products, and then we add the two weighted averages. That will give us our weighted average CS ratio. Okay, so let's start. So let's go to the same worksheet that we've been using before. That's the Excel sheet that says short-term decision making. Okay, so I'm going to create a new worksheet. Just immediately after break-even analysis on poultry. So like it has been the case, if you're having a computer handy, or you have a mobile or a tablet that you can use to work along with me, that would be the best. In case you cannot do that, it will be better to write it on your book. This thing, I've provided it before, and I'm going to download it in an Excel form, and I'll share with you. And it will be, the link for the Google Sheet also will be shared with you, so you will definitely get it. So if you're comfortable watching me do it, well, fine, but it will be best to, do it as I do it along, so that you can have the knowledge of the Excel aspect of the question. Okay, so we know to add a new worksheet, we click on the plus, isn't it? I hope you've been practicing this since the last time we left. Have you been practicing Google Sheet? Have you?
Yes.
Have you been practicing?
Yes, we have been practicing it.
Okay, fine. Okay, excellent. Right. So, right, where are we? Okay. So the question, of course, it should be in your pack. This pack was given to you before. So refer to the question, because I'm going to project the solution. So I'm going to stop this one, and then I'll project the spreadsheet. Yeah. So percent. Short term. There you go. Okay. So I created a new worksheet by clicking on the plus. Once you highlight it, you see add sheet. Then it gave me sheet 10, which is the default. Then I just double click on it. Then I will call it EG8. I'll call it EG8 CF Limited, CF Ltd. Okay, that's the name of the. Oh, it already existed. Looks like we've done this. Oh wow, did we do this last time? Okay.
No, we don't. We don't.
Okay, but I had it here. Okay.
This one is CF Limited. It's
Okay,
not the
yeah.
same with the
That's
PVC company.
that's different. Okay, so yeah, so I'll call this CF because it's already. Let me just CF dot limited. Okay, so that it differs from there. For one reason, I had it somewhere here. Okay, not the joint process. Oh wow. Okay, fine. It might be it's a similar question name that we have done in the previous one. Okay. Oh no. Sorry. It's me. No, I'm looking at the wrong place. So this should be beauty company. Example 9 beauty company. Sorry. Right. So it should be EG. Had a long day. I've been so tired. Well, it's okay. So I'll call it BEAUTY beauty company. Okay. Right. And we're going to color the sheet green. Okay. So to color, we just click on here and then use the change color. I'll choose green. Okay. And the green will display here. Okay. So like I said, we're going to calculate our contribution per unit, and we find our weighted average CS ratio, and then we do our break even. Okay, so the first product we look at, so we just say EG9, we do this quickly. EG9 beauty company. Okay, let me zoom it so that you can see it properly. I'm going to zoom it 150%. Okay, you can see it. Can you see it clearly?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I'll make that bold, and the font size I'm going to increase it to 18. Okay, so EG9 Beauty Company Limited. So we'll have the product, name of the product. Okay, the name of the product. We're going to find the contribution. We're going to find the contribution, and we'll do our weighting. And then we have our weighted contribution. Sorry, the next one should be our insert one on the left. We have our contribution. Then we have our CS ratio, contribution to sales ratio. Yeah, so we have our weighting, and then we have our weighted CS ratio. Okay, so this is what we have. We'll have the product. We'll have the contribution for the product. We're going to look at the CS ratio. Okay, contribution to sales ratio. We have our weighting, and we have our weighted contribution to sales ratio. So the first product we have is what? Nail polish. Nail polish. Okay, so the first product we have is nail polish. So we're going to make this bold. We click on the whole line, number 4, and we click on bold to make it bold. And we want to make it underline. We can go to format and then choose underline. Okay, so that's the way you do bold and underline. So nail polish, right? If you look at nail polish, it has got, let's read the question. This question is a bit tricky. Okay, let's read it. The first 30% is referring to what? The market share, which will be equivalent to the weighting. So we can come here and say, let's format this column to be what? Percentage. So highlight the whole of E and click on percentage. Okay, click on percentage. So when you come here, if you type 30, then it will be 30%. You see? Right. So the nail polish weighting in terms of the sales is 30%. So we know that. Okay. And it says nail polish sales make up 30% of total sales, and their variable costs are 45% as a percentage of sales value. Can you hear that question? It says the variable cost is 45% as a percentage of sales value. Now, if variable cost is 45% of sales value, okay, what is sales value?
The sales value is 100%.
The sales value will be 100%. Okay, and as such, the contribution will be what? 100 less.
100 minus 45%.
Less
Of the
45%.
yes, and you have 55.
So we'll format these ones also. Please watch me. We're going to format this to percentage. So we come and click our percentage. So nail polish, we know that nail polish, the total sales is 100%. So we say equals 100, which will be 100%. Okay, minus minus what? 45%.
Minus the variable 45%. Minus yes.
So we use 1, which will be 100% minus 0.45. Okay, so that will be 55%. Okay. Okay, so nail polish contribution is simply 55%. It says that the variable cost is 45% as a percentage of sales value. So sales value is 100%, and as such, contribution will be sales less variable cost. So that's what exactly we've done. 1 means 100%, 0.45 means 45%. So we have 55%. Okay, is it clear, everybody? Okay, is it clear? So our contribution is 55%. So contribution, what will be our CS ratio? Are you with me, class? Okay, we all agreed that the contribution will be 55%. Okay?
Yes.
Now, if you have 55% over 100, is it not the same? So the contribution to sales ratio will still be 55%. Okay, so we use the same. Somebody is disturbing. Paste. Okay, so we have our contribution to sales ratio as 55%. Okay, so now let's find our weighted CS ratio. Our weighted CS ratio will be what? What will be our weighted CS ratio? It will be the CS ratio.
It will be C.
Yes, go ahead.
Multiply by the
The
weighting.
weighting. Excellent.
The CS ratio multiplied by the weighting.
Okay. So what formula should I put there on F6? What formula should I put there? People seem to be very slow today. What's the problem? Can you answer quickly so that we can cover this thing? Because if you don't talk, I won't know whether you understand it or not. Okay, so we say equal.
We can say D6 multiplied by E6. D6 multiplied by E6.
Okay, D6 multiplied by E6. Excellent. So we click equals this multiplied by that. That gives us 7. Somebody has got 2 appliances on at the same time. That's why my voice is echoing.
It's 18 hours.
Okay, so can we switch one of them? So let's take this also to, let's say, 1 decimal place. So you just click on the 1 DP here. So that will give you 16.5%. Otherwise, it's going to round it up to 17%. Okay, is that clear? So now we're going to take the same formatting of nail polish and copy it here. So how do we do that? We click on this. We click on the paint format. Once we click this paint format, we come and click 7. It will give the format exactly as is on row 6. So the next product is lipstick. Lipstick. So lipstick also the same thing. Lipstick, it says that lipstick sales are what? 70% of total sales. So 70% of total sales. What is that? The weighting, isn't it? Okay. So that's 70%. Is that clear? So
yes, it's clear.
Yes, 70% of the total sales, and the variable costs are 40% as a percentage of sales value. So the variable costs are 40%, the sales is 100%, therefore 100 minus 40 over 100 times 100 gives you the same amount. So the contribution and the CS ratio becomes the same. So we say equals 1 minus 0.6, sorry, 0.4, yeah? So that gives us 60%. Is that correct? Okay, so we have the same thing here. Since divide by 100 multiplied by 100 gives you the same number, so therefore the contribution and the sales and the contribution and the CS ratio are the same. And what we do is we just copy the formula here, and there you go. So the weighted average CS ratio for lipstick is 42.0%, whilst the weighted average CS ratio for nail polish is 16.5%. So what's the total? So we can find the total. I come down here, find the total. What we are interested in is only the total weighted CS ratio. So what formula do we put here? Quickly, equal the sum formula, isn't it? We say sum, we click the first one, and then come here, and we end. Okay? So the total weighted average CS ratio is 58.5. Okay? Any questions on this? Okay, so now the job is done for us. What do? We apply our formula, our break-even sales. So we come here and say break-even sales equals total FC, means fixed cost, divided by total weighted average CS ratio. Okay? So the break-even sales is equal to the total FC, which is total fixed cost, divided by the total WACS, is weighted average CS ratio. Okay? So therefore, our break-even will be what? So let's have our break-even here, just right here. What is our total fixed cost, class?
400.
400,000.
400,000. 400,000. Yes. So we have 400,000 divided by our percentage. We end. Okay. So we have this number. We could format it so that it will have 1,000 separators. So that is 683,760.68, but we can round it up. So how do we round it up? We just click on it and we use a degrees decimal place here. Look at this. We just decrease, and then it's rounded up for us. So we have $683,761. Okay. So our weighted average CS ratio in dollars is 683,761 to the nearest dollar. Okay? Is that clear? Is that clear, class?
Yes, it is clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So now we're going to move to the next topic. If there are any questions, please throw them before we move to the next question. Somebody has got two appliances switched on at the same time. So it's what is causing this echoing. Stop this. Who has two appliances on at the same time? You need